All right. Decks are getting shuffled and cut. We do have Tin Tran will be rocking Dragoons for us today, and James Doolittle will be rocking Earth Lightning Chaos Arc.
Yep.
Man, poor Medine. Like Medine just didn't really get much of a showing this opus, but clearly Art Chaos has made its presence known.
They're very similar in a way. It's just more so that like Medine is so much brickier, and even
Yeah.
stuff people have tried like, oh well, Citra get Medine back is crazy, and it really is. But it's more so that the ability to you can hard cast Arc, and it makes all the difference that you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Medine even cost like 7 regularly, and then
And
like cost 1 if you had a light forward,
yeah.
I think it would see a lot more experimentation, especially in something like 13. Although even there, like you still would have issues with it. Like the Chaos Arc stuff does have a problem where like you have these cards that kind of gum up your hand until you have the right scenario.
Yeah.
So it'll slow down your setup. It's just very, very. It's a really interesting, solution to try to figure out. Because I messed around with trying to play like, Earth, Water, Rydia with Chaos and Arc, and I didn't like it because a lot of times when you have to go to an early, low hand size if you're trying to ramp quickly, you have these cards you just can't do anything with. It means you have to lose your other stuff. But
I think what you're saying is we need an 11 cost light forward that gets cheaper for all the elements your opponent has.
oh god. So what does that one do? Does it just play a forward from your deck when it comes into play?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yep.
I'm trying to think like what the thematic equivalent to that would be.
Ooh, even better, it plays a forward from your opponent's deck when it comes in.
Oh god.
You just go search their deck for their best forward and just go, all right, I'll take that one.
I can't believe you're just leaking the Light Legend from the next set.
Yeah, oops, my bad. I
We're
didn't
gonna
mean
have
to.
Heidelin just
Yeah.
casting something from our own deck.
I mean, that would be appropriate. Like, I do hope we
it
get
would
to
be
see
good.
Heidelin and Zodiark from Endwalker. That would be appropriate.
All right, looks like we are starting up.
Here we go. Is there an Alice in our Dragoon play? Yeah, there's a Dragoon backup. I don't see Alice yet, though. So, do you? I feel like you have to dig for the Alice, right? You don't want to just put down a single Dragoon backup. Oh, I'm assuming first place gets determined by the higher seed.
Yeah, so that'll be 10. 10 is the. So
Looks like he's opting to keep it, though.
I'm not sure where the official round timer starts, so I'm going to have this. It'll be close enough.
Sounds good. Ooh, we did draw into Sarah. Okay. Well, who needs Alice in your opening hand when Sarah lets you go get it? Oh, do we not have water for Sarah?
Might not have water, yeah.
Bummer.
So that looks like that's an Estinian for Dragoon.
Yeah, but oh man, that card was such a boss back in the day. It makes me happy to see it still hanging around here. We do have Vincent in our hand for James. We're gonna go ahead and put down Seymour, put a summon on top of our deck. If we wanted to save the Vincent 5k, we could. It would deal with something like Freya. Otherwise, we can just be, if we just want to get our colors out now, we can slap it down. I don't know if he was asking for a response there or.
I don't know. Are we not stacking?
I guess not. Yeah, he didn't pull a card out. I haven't. Is Seymour? I'm assuming Seymour must be optional.
I mean, you can always fail a search.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but I think you do technically. If you do that, you might have to shuffle, especially because he resolved a mulligan.
Right.
So he didn't want to stack a summon, but I think you're still required to shuffle in that situation since the deck wasn't technically randomized.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen someone. I've never seen someone. Well, I've seen people fail the search. I've never seen someone fail Seymour, especially this early, like turn 1. That's the first time I've seen that happen.
Must just not be a summon he wants to get access to early. Want to draw other cards.
Well, there's your card. We're gonna flip
here
more.
we go.
This is look at all
up to set to this.
Right, yeah, this is the card everyone's going nuts over. So we reveal 5, and is it any lightning card we can get?
Any lightning card.
So there's a back attack Kane there. There's of course Freya, and then some generic Dragoons. Could even get the spare card if you really just wanted something to throw away, but presumably, because I know he's got a normal Freya in hand, so either he wants the special, or I would assume you'd get the Kane for the.
Oh, we're getting the Freya, so we get the water CP for the Sarah.
Oh, yeah, that too. Very good, very good. Slammed it on that Sarah, and then you're ready for Alice on your next turn. Tin is considering. No. Interesting. I guess, yeah, he's more than happy to just not even worry about Alice. As a Brave Dragoon player, but hey, he's in the top cut, so he must know what he's doing. One of your favorite cards, Vanille gets pitched, and we do put down the Vincent. I wonder if he should have done that last turn. I don't know if he could have had anything he curved out to on 4 this turn, but
I was gonna say, especially like Vanille would be really good against a
yeah,
theoretical Alice as well. Just make it where that you don't draw 2 every turn. Be pretty vulnerable to dying though against Dragoons. They have so much
yeah.
easy ways to kill a forward like this.
I don't know if you have access to these gentlemen's deck list. Does James have any kind of backup breaking that could threaten an Alice?
I can look up the deck lists as we're going. 1 second.
And we pitch Sildra. There's Sarah. Presumably we'll go get Alice unless we've got a Princess Sarah hiding in there. And we just passed over one of them. There's Mr. Alice. A little later in the game than normal, but hey, he's making his appearance, and our opponent wasn't pressuring us, so.
Yeah, very gentlemanly game so far.
Someone said we did see a Hecaton Opus 1 earlier during receiving.
Okay, James, do a little run. That's the Opus 15. Run 2 copies of Opus 15 Heka.
Mr. Alice gives our first Dragoon reveal. Is it a hit? Yes, it is. We'll take a Dragoon backup. Dragoon's up to 5 backups. They're ready to start putting out forwards next turn.
Yes, 1 backup breaking heck.
Okay. So only 1. Not a huge threat. Of course, presumably could be recurred with Mana Black, but Tin is hoping we never get to that point, of course. Your girl Vanille's in hand, so he could just put that out, which he opts to do. Looks like we might be struggling for backups a bit. Yeah, and he just has to pitch Chaos for hand size.
Wow.
James not seeing the backups he would like to this game.
All right, here we go. Let's see that.
Hey, it's Ricard. I'm assuming he's got 3 full art Ricard in there.
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate shininess.
I should just realizing the Sarahs are not foil. Tin did not splurge on those.
Right? Just go over there and just smash him off the table. You're like, nope, deck's not legal. Can't do the half and half. It's got to either be all foil or no foil. We're going to bring out Freya. Yeah, very nice. You're right. He could have taxed the Alice with the Vanille. He opted not to.
You might as well. Like, to me, it's like if you're going to pay 2 no matter what, you might as well make them pay 2 to get their first draw.
Yeah, especially because you don't, in Dragoons, I guess he's worried about maybe something killing him. But yeah, like right here, there's no auto ability now. So. And Freya does have first strike, so she can trade favorably with the Vanille. And this Dragoon was 3 less, since he came in after another Dragoon and has haste. Goodbye, Hecaton. That would have been a good one. And Ramu, 2 summons straight into damage.
See, he did not get any value out the Vanille because we didn't have the Alice.
I'm assuming maybe he was worried about a removal Dragoon, like the special one or the one that has power reduction, but as we saw there, he didn't use anything, so he really should have taxed the Alice. Do we even have a Toto? Man, it seems like James is really struggling to get cards he wants. There we go. Okay, we do have a 3rd backup. And this will let us go get a 4th backup. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Presumably we'll go search out the... I don't remember. Lady of Antiquity? Is that her name?
Yeah, it should be Lady of Antiquity. Yep.
And I can back up. So if we do get to our X death, it will be 2 cheaper currently. Assuming we pull this card
until we
out.
get that down.
Well, yeah, so I'm assuming we're putting it down, but yeah, you're correct. Until it comes down, it'll technically only be 1 cheaper.
It's a little awkward here, though, because we have that, but we don't have a way to play it on curve this turn exactly.
Yeah, it looks like he's struggling for Earth CP. No, there we go. He did pitch a Mist Dragon. We can leave the Vincent up. If we go to damage 3, Vincent can shoot something for 7k, which right now the target would be Freya. And then Alice trigger. Okay, he is going to tax it this time. He must have felt your presence through the camera. It's like, yeah, all right, maybe I need to do that.
I say this is pay 2 to draw, probably. Although I will
essentially.
say it would feel really bad if Alice whiffs.
Yeah. The old
Uh,
Kane backup, not entirely dead in case we ever decide to break one of our Dragoon backups. I believe Ricard can be broken too, right? For I don't remember what his effect is, but
gives a forward first strike.
gotcha. I wonder if anyone's ever used that and it mattered.
I mean, it's not a bad. I mean, first strike is such a good keyword, especially in a deck that can do cleave with the Cherry Blossom. And even just being able to break a backup for free so you can play another one. I mean, you can just dig through your deck so efficiently now with Dragoons.
Well, and I'm sure people have broken it again to free up the space. I just wondered if someone was like, I need the first strike for this Dragoon in order for my play to work.
Maybe. I imagine it's more one of those things where it's like the threat of it keeps your opponent from blocking when they could otherwise.
Speaking of breaking a backup, we will get rid of the Opus 12 one. I'm going to pull out this one from the break zone. A Dragoon has not been played this turn, so it is still currently the full 5. Now a Dragoon has been played. Now it only costs 2. And we're threatening to put James to 5 damage on this turn. Hasty, hasty, hasty. I don't know if there's a lot of punishing removal EX bursts in this deck. I guess we're going to see. First point is a Delusory Warlock, followed by a Misdragon, another summon, and a Cisne. Hope you weren't planning on using any of those. Man, Tin is feeling he feels in full control here. A Shantoto, of course, would be good, but it's Dragoons. He could easily then just haste out 2 more on his next turn and knock you out. So if we can get any of these forwards off the board and still maintain our own board presence, that would be quite nice.
There's plenty of outs here, though. This would be a pretty solid time for something like a Shantoto as well, because you can also crack the Vanille in response to get back a backup, hopefully.
Yeah, although he doesn't have any in there currently.
We also can fire the Vincent to shoot the Freya if we want to reduce the chance, remove the option of a Cherry Blossom entirely.
Yeah.
Looks like we're considering it.
I doubt. I bet X Death would get to his 10. Oh my! He just passed. He discarded Fenrir, or at least I think he did, or maybe he's reconsidering it. He made a hand gesture, and Tin looked like he was about to untap or activate. No, we're discarding 2 cards. Not 100% sure what's going on right now.
I think we're Cherry Blossoming. Yeah, we're Cherry Blossoming.
Oh, okay. Did he pick Vincent up, or does he have another Vincent? He's got
He
another
cracked the
Vincent.
Vincent
Okay.
and then got the Vincent on the stack with the Vanille.
Okay, that's what it was.
I think we're still threatening lethal here, though, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, even if with just the Dragoons he has on board. Oh man, does James have anything else, or did he just draw that poorly?
And the Freya can be gotten right back, too, if we really
Yeah,
need it.
we can recur anything we want. Remind me, the Dragoon backup on the far left, does that only get standard units?
Standard units, lightning can be played directly to the field if it's 3 or less.
Gotcha. So obviously we can't do Freya, which you were right. He does scoop the Freya right back up with that Dragoon. I mean, we can't use Hecaton Kyra on our opponent's turn, so maybe a Ramu is what we're going to need to save us, which even that just takes out the Freya. I mean, he clearly has got to have something. Hopefully he's not going for the old Lance of Atrophy Hail Mary play.
It is Ramu.
Which can 7k the Freya, but can't dull any of the other 2. That doesn't save us. Is that all he had? Uh-oh. Yeah, James kind of looks like he's just like, I just have nothing. No? Do we have one more? It looks like they're just discussing something. Pitches a Man in Black for... Oh, Sonnen. Okay. There we go. We did have something. So Sonin will absorb 5,000 power from that Dragoon, give it to himself, and then he can block safely. Now, granted, you could dull him with Alice right here before blocks
Oh,
occur.
wow, you're right.
Yep, and Tin. There you go. No blocks, sir. Yeah, he's only a 3,000 power forward. He's like, hold on, let me read that card.
That card has more text?
Which means, barring a BX burst, I mean, it is one, but it's not the one that's going to help us here. Unless we've got another Sonin to somehow remove our own cheated again off the field. Man in black, but that's not going to save us. Yep. Ixion, which doesn't do anything, yeah. And the best
handshakes.
The best celebratory handshake / fist bump you've ever seen. Yeah, I guess he forgot about the old Alice doll. Or, I mean, granted, based on what he had in hand, there was nothing else he could have done, so. Those 5-cost Dragoons being huge there, not being able to be dulled by Ramu. All right, James definitely hoping for a better showing in the second matchup. It just felt like he didn't really ever get to do much that match.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was kind of awkward. Discarded the Chaos to hand size early. Chaos really probably doesn't feel very good in this matchup either. You're going to get like a... I mean, like, it's never bad to get something, but you're going to get like a Dragoon with like haste.
Yeah.
And, like, no
yeah,
other...
most of the relevant Dragoon text is on entry, so you essentially just have a body. Even if you stole the quote-unquote big Dragoon, like, it'll then just be a 5k on your side, so...
And then like Chaos, it's costing 7 because there's not a light card on the deck. There's no like, we're not playing like the Wind for the Cane or anything like that.
Right. Is in your professional opinion, Mr. Ghoul, is the best Cane for Dragoons that backup one that's in there?
I think so. I think
crazy.
you have to go too far out of your way to play a good Cane.
Yeah.
Like the only other one you would consider, I think, because like you can give the Wind one haste, and it's really good if you can do that. Like if you have like Barbara Cane.
Yeah.
But then you have to like try to like sneak enough Wind cards in, and like sure the Wind Crystal Generator is named Dragoon. But then like your first Cane is kind of dead, and you have like that like awkwardness then of like, well, is it really worth that package? So there's like also the one that like you can remove a backup to make it cheaper is like okay, but like the being able to like just go second and then back attack the Cane just seems so good.
Yeah. Mr. Doolittle will be off to a better start this time. Gets a turn 1 Rydia, gives up a spare copy of Rydia as well. We'll get presumably Seymour as our backup summoner. And then summon-wise, maybe Hecaton, maybe Miss Dragon, kind of depending on what he's feeling. He just goes ahead and disposes the X-Death now to put down Seymour. So the Hecaton is the search from the Rydia. Seymour can still get a summon and put it on top. Yeah, I guess he's making sure to do it the official way. The big double thumbs up to the camera. We're doing it properly just to make sure. And not that I know a whole lot about like gambling terms, but what is the over under on him actually getting a summon this time? No, he doesn't seem to value that.
Yeah. We did get the Heka this time off of the Rydia. That's a really scary card.
Yeah. Now we are threatening, hey, I can get rid of your Alice. No surprise dull shenanigans this time, sir.
Wonder if game 1 that's what he should have done with the Seymour. Just stack that so he knows he has access to it. Might just be unfamiliarity with Dragoons as a matchup. Because it is such a blowout if you just on the stack of the Alice entering crack it immediately.
Yeah. They'll get one reveal at least, but obviously not the value they were hoping for from it. We did not have the Cane back attack backup for 10 in hand. Or if we did, he's holding it as a real surprise.
We failed the Seymour search.
Yeah, second game in a row, he's decided he just doesn't value that. Failed in advance. By the way, when I submit this Seymour for processing, I just don't want it to resolve, letting you know that.
Tim's thinking a lot here. That Heck is probably giving him some pause if he's got something like an Alice in hand.
Yeah.
You might still just have to play the Alice, I think, right?
Oh, time to go aggressive? Did he pitch Alice?
I can't see what that is, unfortunately.
It says it has the number 5 on it, and it looks like backup text. So, oh man, and we run into a bonus burst as a Kusith is going to get us back some instant value. This game already looking so different from game 1. I mean, I don't know. Is playing the Alice the worst thing? You'll get one reveal, and then if he spends his next turn just breaking it, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's clearly good for James, but you get something off of it. It's not like you paid 5 for absolutely nothing.
I think the fear at that point becomes that, like, you have to eventually go for it. Now, you're trading 3 CP for 3 CP.
Right.
You're not really advancing your board state when you're doing that. And James, because of the 2 backups, has the ability to continue to do that. So he's just going to come out so far ahead as that goes along. I think. And then the fear also becomes that the first time the Heka happens isn't the last time it's going to happen, thanks to the Man in Black and even the 1 copy of Kryl.
Also true. There's Mr. Reeve. Presumably we're going to go search out Vincent, unless there's a surprise Opus 1 Kate Sith in here.
It's fun to see this card take kind of a new life this set because of the Vincent backup.
Yeah, Reeve turning out to be a more reliable backup than maybe when he was first printed, as he just gets more and more targets. Tin also opted to throw out one of the 2 CP Dragoon backups too, which I kind of understand not going for the Alice because you're worried about the Hecaton, but kind of surprised you wouldn't just load up on the little ones then.
I don't know. It's interesting for sure.
We could also just say, forget the backups. I'm going balls to the walls. All Dragoons, attack! Although against a deck with sweepers, that's always a dangerous idea. Yeah, he gives up another Dragoon backup for our big Dragoon, which will be... He'll be a 9K right now, correct?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's another bonus burst. Mr. Gabranth will search us out a 5 or higher. Say hello to Chaos. Granted, not a cheap Chaos right now, but hey, free card in hand. Can't complain about that.
I'm never better off getting like a Man in Black there.
I was thinking that, like, do you really want to cast Chaos in this matchup? Maybe he does. Maybe with a low board, he's planning to. There's a foil full art Mist Dragon.
Or maybe we've got a Cisne or something we want to have a really nice pitch target and just kill something with. You can kill that big Dragoon with it.
This game is so different for Tin. Like, he had the backups, but again, I kind of understand throwing out the Alice if you are scared of the Hecaton, but why throw out the 2 backup ones? I don't know, man. You're not getting your recursion value from Alice, so like you're gonna run out of resources pretty quick. Here comes Shantoto. No, it's Chaos.
Chaos.
And yeah, Arc on top. And he had Ricard. Why not put it down? You know, especially after you see him go get the Chaos. Like, you got to be prepared for that.
As I say, it goes to the break zone there. I think we're getting it mixed up with Medina a little bit.
I mean, yeah, you still would have, of course, had to discard the one you had off Ricard, but you'd have 2 backups at least. Like, huh. I'm not 100% sure what his game plan. Like, I guess maybe he was just going to go for the full aggro plan, but it's already really punishing him for it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, as they say.
It certainly is what it is. Well, now he's in a world of trouble. He's got a single backup, no forwards on the field. If our opponent draws into an arc or can recur that arc, essentially any forward we put down is just gonna die immediately.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna hold those two in hand.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Ron is like, it's not really a brick though, because he had and he just chose not to do them. There you go. Would you believe a Dragoon got hit into damage? Who knew? And by leaving the chaos up too, we can just essentially break anything on demand by sacrificing the Barbara. There's Ricard. Ghoul, tell me, does Ixion have is this Ixion worth it in this matchup? Like on Tin's side?
I don't
Just,
know if he's playing it or not. I can check.
well, he just put it in the break zone.
Oh,
So I'm saying, like, does James have anything? It's obviously I know there's Vanille, but
Vanille and Kryl. Let me double check. I think it's pretty low value though.
Okay.
Cisne, if you care about killing her.
So it's got a few targets at least. Ooh, and there goes the old Mist Dragon. Remove your break zone, draw a card. Dragoon's not overly dependent on their break zone, but they definitely have some recursion. So, not happy to see that one go. And and we broke the Ricard anyway with Hecaton. Man, oh man. And we're still just down to a single backup on our field. This is not going well for Tin.
Yeah, this is not ideal, as they say. I mean, you can kind of gamble a little bit now if you draw an Alice and play it and just say if he has the heck, the game was probably over anyway.
Yeah, well, he just used it, so yeah, he's got to recur it now, right? Didn't you say he only runs one copy?
Yeah, one copy, but we got the Man in Blacks and the Kryl. Like, it's not too hard to recast it if we really want to. But I think it's probably almost too late for Alice at this point anyway. We're on damage 2. We're only taking 1 point of damage a turn because
that's what I'm saying. We've got time. And what do you know? What version of Aranea he's running? I'm assuming he's probably on the 6 cost.
Usually it's been the 6 cost from what I remember.
Because if he was on the 4 cost, then damage 3 just makes us that. It just makes us all the stronger.
Virtual 10 has some incredible handwriting. We are on 3 of the 6-drop Aranea.
Okay.
We're not playing the 2-drop or the 4-drop.
Just going for, and that one turns on fully at damage 5. Is that right? Is when it can break a 5 cost?
Yep.
Which at this point, his only target is his own Barbara. Which won't even work because, of course, Chaos will just sacrifice it. Yeah, well, and so the thing is, too, going back to those low-cost Dragoon backups he pitched, we got to remember, too, not only for backup efficiency, those are important in this deck because they make cards like Cherry Blossom and the Dragoon that reduces power based on number of Dragoons. Like, it makes all of those stronger as well. Tin has nothing to do. He just passes back to James.
Yeah, I think we just got a little bit too aggro here and trying to say, well, I can run them down because of the early Heka search. And we just never got there. Oh.
Just like you predicted. Just pulls the arc. I mean, just like, that's just got to be so demoralizing, right? It's just sitting there being like, just so you know.
Is this where we pull out the surprise Fel Thanos?
Right, yeah, please.
The only time that card will actually be good.
The one no one ever expected.
We got to deal with the Man in Black this turn, too, because if we don't, it's just going to get worse.
So he will get to break something. Presumably he's got 4 Dragoons in hand.
Oh, no, we're not.
Why not?
We're
no, you're right, because he's going to make him discard it.
Force the discards before the reveal happens.
People saying go to game 3. I mean, it's likely over. At the same time, you haven't even used a full 30 minutes yet in the top cut, so I kind of get playing it out.
Yeah.
If you were pushed more on time, I could understand going to game 3, but yeah, and they're talking about how it resolves. Like, if he does this before he reveals any, then by the time he reveals, he's not going to have enough in hand. Oh boy, that didn't go well.
Yeah, I found out how this works thanks to the Legend Terra. Someone did this to me. And I wanted to do her like okay, I'm going to do the reveal with Terra. I was like, before you do the reveal, I'm like, I thought the reveal was like part of cost. Like, no, that's part of the win.
Nope.
So,
Yeah. I think it's 2 auto ability. I know the Terra is. It's reveal and then you choose all your
yeah, this
targets.
Dragoon should work the exact same way too. Yeah, so we're checking with the judge, it seems like.
Yeah. Someone put the surprise Pikachu emote in chat. That's just brutal, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, other than the Felthanos, though, like there's no interaction a Dragoon has that works favorably with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll spoil it. We're not playing the Felthanos either.
Snugsy said it's over unless a meteor falls on Jim. But they do have time to play. He goes to grab the arc and you just see on the screen. Oh my goodness.
I'd say, and someone is pointing out, a lot of times you'll play these out not necessarily to, have a chance at winning, but because you can learn things from your opponent if you're not super familiar with,
Yeah.
if you're, even in game 1, James might not have realized, okay, now I know Alice has that dull and break effect. That's a big difference, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to scoop it up here.
Tin just learned, okay, Chaos Art can mess with this thing on the stack. So we are going to game 3. Tin will get to go first this time if he so chooses, which I presume he would. And yeah, like I just want to see for him, I want to see a committed plan one way or the other. Either go full aggro or take your time with your backups, because he almost did this like weird middle ground where he went like kind of aggro, but then. And I think you want your backups, even if he doesn't have the Hecaton, like take the chance on the Alice, get those 2-cost ones down for sure. He cannot mess with those 2-cost backups, and
a lot of times those 2-cost ones are really nice late game too, because they kind of just represent late game forwards too. Very similar, almost like how a blue worm works in water, where it's like, I always say when you're casting blue worm, you're like paying 2 CP to suspend a point of damage. Those backups can almost kind of work similarly. You're like either suspending a cherry blossom for later, or you're suspending a Dragoon's going to do something on entry later on.
Yeah. And especially the Opus 12 one, I'm pretty sure it's not limited to your turn, so you can do it in response to a Mist Dragon to save something from your break zone.
Absolutely.
We both of these games have been maybe the first one wasn't quite a stomp, but both of these have definitely been one-sided. So we'll see if we can get a more even one. We do have a Sildra in Tin's opening hand. And I saw Ramu in James's. James opts for the mulligan. Sildra is, of course, great if we can cast it. We got 56 people in here watching. Thank you for watching. And welcome to this day 2 of the Texas Materia Cup, hosted by Lone Star Pack Breaks on the Gulo 2 channel. There we go. Nice, hearty 2-cost backup on turn 1. That's what you like to see. Ooh, and a 3-cost on James's turn, which of course will let him get another backup, which we're also happy to see.
Fenrir's pretty bad in this matchup, so understandably toss that one.
Does that card have any targets? I guess if he puts down the multi-element Freya, which I don't think he'll ever do.
Never would happen, I suppose. Yeah.
It's so funny to see Cisne in these decks too, that it's like, hey, I know I'm a Turk, but I have an effect that just happens to synchronize with Chaos and Arc, so. Pitch Mr. Sonnen, and we'll put down the Lady of Antiquity. So James is color fixed. Nice start for him. Alice would be so nice to see here.
Yeah, put him on Gotta Have It for the Heka.
Exactly. And again, you are still getting something out of it, so it's not like it's just total dead value. Come on, Dragoons.
3 for 3 for sure. Like it's even.
Show me the Alice. Show me our favorite prince. Yeah, there we go.
Let's go.
Now we're playing Dragoons.
I still can't believe Alice does something on entry and start of main.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it would be. I don't know if it'd be awful, but oh my gosh, he drew the Hecaton, or he already had it. He's just prepping, yeah. Okay. So he did have the Hecaton, but you know what? Hey, we got something out of it. And
you
that's
make
his
that
whole
trade.
turn too. So
All right, so back to turn 2.
yeah. All right. So that last turn didn't happen. We're on turn 2 again.
Oh, please tell me we have another Alice too.
Another one. Come on, Dragoons. I'm rooting for you. Nothing against James, of course. But I do want to see Dragoons do well. Not quite Alice. We'll get Ricard. Ooh. Nothing there is great. I mean, Barbara's never bad. Maybe you just get a spare Ricard to throw away. You don't see it. I guess you are technically filtering Dragoons out of the deck. So he goes for the Ixion, which he immediately throws
We're
out
just
for
filtering
Dragoon.
out the Ixion. Okay.
Yeah. Alice may not be online, but we are at least getting more set up on our backups this turn or this game.
And our
And
Freyas are going to hit like a truck now too.
yeah, they are. And he's already used the Hecaton, which means again he has to now use Mana Black or something to get it back. Otherwise,
And Mana Black's a very vulnerable forward to this deck too.
and it looks like James might be. I can't tell if he drew a backup or not in his hand. Wow, looks like he's also struggling for backups. Goes for the early X death.
We're not on. No, you say there's no like Varialde or anything to like turbocharge this later too.
Yeah,
It's just
so
going to be like a big 10k body.
I don't even know if it's 10k because it only removed the characters. I don't know if it even removed 10 cards there. It's so early. Because Tin had 2 summons in his break zone, so it removed maybe 4 or 5 cards. I think he removed a Cisne on his turn. I think this is legit an 8k X death. Which, if that's the case, it's ripe for the picking. Oh my goodness. He says your X death meet Neo X death. Okay, Ghoul, in your professional opinion, why is there a Neo X death in this Dragoon's deck?
Oh my god, Tin is a madman.
Someone just mentioned in the chat too, there's an awful lot of non-Dragoons in this deck. Toto or bust? I mean, I gotta admit, that is not a card I expected to see come down in Dragoon.
Roby's right, it's searchable.
Yeah, that's true. It can be searched off of Sildra.
Oh.
I mean, just the synergy too of, well, I've got X death. It's like, well, I have superior X death. Yeah, don't block here if you're the Neo X death. You can't risk that.
Here's the pointing Spider-Man meme.
He does have a chaos in hand, so he could steal this Neo X death and
Can't
then
steal Neo X Death.
Oh, you're right. It can't target, or it can't be light or dark. That's a good point. Well, we hit a Dragoon into damage, which is what you'd expect to see in this deck. You certainly don't want to target it with Ramu. You can't see James's face, but I can see it looking at his cards. Just this, huh? Well, now what do I do? Pitches to we doing Man in Black? No? Yes? We've got 4 CP suspended, 5. Yeah, we are going for the Man in Black. We'll get back the oh yeah, the Fenrir. Hey, remember that Fenrir you said had no targets? Well, surprise, it does now. That Fenrir stays on the field, by the way. Yeah, I'll say it doesn't come back to hand. And of course, we'll have to kill something in response for targeting the Neo X death.
Oh, Man in Black's mandatory. The Man in Black target's mandatory. He has
It's
to
not
go...
up to?
No, it's not. Hold on.
Better go tell him.
Be...
A check on it. Let me pull up the card. Would be nice if their filter actually worked and I wasn't sitting here. Oh my gosh. Why is the official card browser so bad? Like 50 cards came up when I typed in Man in Black. Just give me the card I want. When you cast a summon, choose up to 1 forward. Yes, I didn't think it was mandatory. Well, when he gets back, he'll find out. I was gonna say, like, I've seen that card enough. I was like, I feel like it's not mandatory. Uh-oh. Hopefully he doesn't botch this up for them. Yeah, looking at the card right now. When you cast a summon, choose up to 1 forward. It gains this forward cannot attack or block until the end of the turn. Also true. Yeah, he's not forced to target the Neo X Death. He can just target himself. He got a little jumpy there. Either way, so Dragoons, their Neo X Death is gone, which is not a sentence I ever thought I'd say.
Okay.
You got a little jumpy there. It is optional.
Is it optional? Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
it
looking
says
at the
up
card
to.
and
And also, you could target yourself if you had to, as someone pointed out in chat.
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I just pulled it up.
I
It
just
does
wanted
say
to
up
make sure. I saw that and I'm like, I thought Man in Black was mandatory, but you're right. You also can't choose your own forward, I
Yeah,
believe.
but you are correct. If it did say like opposing forward, then yeah, then it would have made a difference. But so both X deaths are gone. They have been swallowed up by the void. Even the Dragoons one, which is just very funny.
Now we got to find
And
the answer to this Man in Black, though.
yeah, you do not want this thing to stay around and just start recurring summons. So Tin took a brief break there to play a non-Dragoon game. Let's see if we can get back to our roots. Yeah, if he wins and we talk to him, I have definitely got some questions for him in this deck.
First question. So what the heck?
Yeah, so why those cards? He's not slapping anything down, so either he's trying to figure out what to do with the Man in Black. He doesn't really have anything great to recur from the break zone. He has the special Dragoon, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't have enough Dragoons to make use of it. He might not be able to do anything about this Man in Black. I mean, at least carve out your backup some more if you can't remove it.
I'm trying to think here.
We are going to get rid of that just for the... Okay, do we have enough? What was... Okay. That was strange.
Yeah, we probably should have waited for our opponent's turn to do that, but
Yeah, there's just zero reason to do it right there. If anything, you could potentially respond. I mean, I guess Mist Dragon is the only thing if you're potentially worried about him using Mist Dragon next turn.
Yeah,
but there
we
isn't
do
one
have
in the
two
break
slots.
zone.
So I think we just got a little jumpy there. It happens. People aren't used to playing on stream.
He's not used to his Neo X death going away so quickly. He's like, well, without Neo X death, now what do I do with Dragoons? Man, he didn't have any backups or anything. This match has gotten very strange. But yeah, James is definitely in the driver's seat with Man in Black on the field. He can take out this Ricard as well. Hits a point of damage. Dragoon's definitely not known for their EX burst, so very unlikely to get help there. And we get to curve out into another mannequin. Presumably going to get another Lady of Antiquity.
Mm-hmm.
We could break the Ricard if we really want to, and put him back to a board state similar to the last game. Clearly, we're going to try to do this special Dragoon. Yep. Special. Does it resolve? No arc this time. We do have a Freya and another backup Dragoon, so the Man in Black will disappear. We do still have, of course, Hecaton Kyre suspended, threatening our Ricard. Which you probably wanted to tap the Ricard for that, just in case he were to counter with the Hecaton, but he didn't, so.
Yeah, that's
And here's our first point of damage. It's Rid. I think it's Rydia.
yeah, that looks like a Rydia. I mean, it's pretty unlikely that he would do that anyway, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't think he would, but in our best practices real rule book. Ooh, he drew another Rydia, so we had 2 Rydias stacked on top there. And here comes Lady Rydia.
Yeah, no reason to play that Lady of Antiquity other than just getting a 2-speed backup because you can't reduce the Neo
Yeah.
X to 0.
Oh, here comes Mr. Arc. Expensive right now, but we know that Chaos is lurking somewhere nearby. Matter of fact, he should still have Chaos in hand, right? I don't think he discarded it.
Yeah, but it's very unfun
It's
chaos.
not cheap, yeah. It is not cheap.
I was wondering if we're going to be better off hard casting that arc. Yeah, thanks for the sub, Ivory Kitty.
Which summoner did we grab? Was it a Seymour? Or did we grab Rydia?
I think it has to be. No, it could be Seymour or Rydia. Probably
Yeah, because
Seymour.
he grabbed Arc. Yeah, if anyone saw what summoner he grabbed in chat, I feel like. Okay, it is Seymour. Yeah, I see it in his hand. Never mind. Well, Tin kind of. Not that he bought himself a turn, but, James took a turn to just set up the Rydia, so. You probably can't put Alice out now with a Hecaton just waiting in the wings. I mean, again, but you could also just keep making him burn it. Here comes Lady Freya.
Interesting that we're overpaying for her rather than using the backups. I wonder if we're just trying to threaten the Cherry Blossom. We're just saying, I'm going to not play this arrow so I don't get punished.
There's a bonus burst. So this time, I don't know if he has any. He could put like a Kusith right on top. Yep. Says, all right, well, would you like to trade a point of damage for me getting the best forward or backup back into my hand? I personally wouldn't take that trade, but he's like, well, let me see what you have in here. Yeah, don't give him that X death of that man in black back.
That X Net's going to be really painful next turn, though. It's going to come down for 1 if we wanted him to go for the. And we should have a lot more characters in those break zones now.
Yeah, he will be summoning the void. See, now this looks more like a normal board state. Did you know we had X Death versus Neo X Death earlier? The strangest thing I've ever seen.
I will say the X Death isn't amazing either, though, because we are threatening a 10k Cherry Blossom, right? Or is Freya 3k per Dragoon?
It's 2k per. So yeah, you're right. It's 10 currently.
Yeah, so that X Death probably doesn't hang around even if it does.
Yeah, very true.
I mean,
and if 10 aren't removed already, when it comes down, it'll just be an 8 before the effect goes off.
Yeah, so even like an arc to kill the Freya doesn't do it.
He's not saving for the Blossom. Just puts out a big Dragoon. Which, of course, is massive. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's counting up 5 times 2. That's just an easy 10,000 power buff. Casual 15,000 forward, no problem. We do draw Shantoto, which means, oops. Doesn't matter how powerful you are. When the Tarutaro comes in and just says, oh, your field is gone. Now, in the past, normally Dragoons doesn't care about Shantoto when it has Alice that can just, it's like, who cares? I'm just going to slam out even more Dragoons.
We threw away the Kusith for that, which is interesting.
He could have X-Death there as well.
Actually, we have a second X-Death in hand. Yeah. I feel like you just have the backup and slam the X-Death, but I guess that's why I'm not in Top Cut.
Truth, sir. Truth. I like that 10 even has the new Opus 19 Dragoon over there in the damage. Like, I don't think I've actually seen anyone use that card. There's Lady Freya.
Yep, there's that.
Going in for a single point. And it is a Mist Dragon. Yeah, a little fist pump there, like, oh, thank God it wasn't an EX burst.
Not having the most fun with those today, is he?
Mm-mm. Still, unfortunately, just not really doing a whole lot on board. Still stuck on 3 backups. Freya by herself is okay, but again, the Cherry Blossom's only going to be 8k at the moment. Here comes Mr. Kusith going to get back Mr. X Death, which we can play for 1, which we will. And now he's going to be online. If we had Cherry Blossom, we need to do it right now. And now Tin is definitely, it is looking south for Dragoons. Aranea cannot deal with it yet. The Special Dragoon could, but I just don't think we have enough resources yet for that. Power Reduction 1 could deal with it.
So how many cards? He's got to be online by now, right?
I would think so. I know Tin has quite a few removed. Now, to be fair, it doesn't look like James has many removed. Like, it's kind of hard to see over there, but it doesn't look like a huge pile. He's at least a 10k for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, who knows? He could be just short of being on 20 or having 20 removed. Nope, looks like he does.
Yeah. Might also be because of that Heka as well being removed too.
Yeah. Goodbye, Cherry Blossom. That's one less one. Snugsy thinks it's over. No way Dragoons come back from this. He's about to say, oh, really? Would you like to hardcast Arc to mess with my hand?
It's so expensive. 4 cards from hand. Can we even do that?
I would say, doesn't he have Chaos in hand still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye, X Death.
So we've had swift answers to the problems at least, which has been nice, but that suspended Heka is putting in a lot of work.
Oh, and there's a bonus burst. You celebrated too much for the last one, Tin. Now it came back to get you.
Tin pointing at the camera. You see what I'm dealing with here?
Yeah, right. Like, folks, do you see this? Presumably, we'll go get, I would think, a Man in Black.
I would have to imagine so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what other targets he would have in there that are 5 cost or higher. I think he does have another Dragoon backup in hand. I wouldn't hate seeing him get that down. Have a 4th one. I think he's already down at least 2 Freyas. He is also down an EOX Death, which is weird to say. Opus 20, we're going to get a Dragoon that's like the Endwalker job Dragoon. It's going to remove your opponent's break zone. Yeah, you know what's funny? We joked about the fail Thanos earlier, but now after seeing the Neo X Death, I'm not entirely convinced it's not in there.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be tough. Tin definitely. I mean, if it was like damage, even damage 5, I feel like Tin would have a chance just because Dragoons have enough haste. You can like see a world where like maybe you have enough hasty Dragoons behind like a couple special Dragoons. But it's going to be real hard to get 3 more points of damage, I feel.
Yeah. Especially if Man in Black just starts giving us back our... Going for the Chaos. Says, I'll take your special Dragoon. I'll be a Huckleberry. Pass, which that's... You know what that means. The first thing you play is bye-bye. Now, it does. I don't know if he even runs the power reduction Dragoon, because I feel like I haven't seen it once, but it would still be good here, because with the backups alone, it would kill the Chaos. Even if he arcs it on the stack.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't even seen that one, and given some of the other off stuff he's running here, maybe it's not even in here. Mr. Doolittle is pointing very fiercely at the cards. Paying 6. Aranea? We're going to break our own Dragoon? Yeah, of course, we'll just scoop it out with the Arc. We have a backup in hand. Why didn't we play that first? And he's got a discard too. Yeah, and we had a backup we could have put down. Hey, Eureka.
Yeah, that's.
And yes, that was very emphatic pointing. Yeah, like he had to know the arc was coming. Like there, yeah, you play your hand out as much as you can.
We're deciding what to discard here, I assume.
Yeah, because he'll get to keep one. I mean, is that true? Do people constantly forget about it, especially when its enabler is right there on the field? He must have something he really values in his hand. Pitches another Dragoon. I didn't see what he pitched under it, but I did see the 2-cost backup one. He absolutely could have gotten that one down first and tried to minimize the kickback from the arc.
Unless that last card in hand is really important.
Right?
Because technically not playing the backup does allow him to preserve one card in hand.
And there's Arc just waiting in the wings. I mean, like you said, I don't know, Phil Thanos here. It doesn't even get rid of the chaos.
Black, get the Arc right back.
Aranea isn't even online to kill Man in Black yet.
I mean, yeah, this
is rough.
I don't know what outs we would have to this board state now.
Essentially, just have to keep breaking stuff if he can get back the special and keep. Well, I mean, but that doesn't even work now, right? Because of the arc, because he'll just do it on the stack of it.
Well, also we've only got 3 cards in hand too. You have to reveal 4 for the special. So like killing this Man in Black is you'd almost have to play the power reduction Dragoon here.
That's your savior, but like I haven't even seen it, so maybe he doesn't have it in the deck. Plays the backup this turn. We're not at lethal yet, but our opponent's definitely going to put us there on the next turn. Hopefully you hit an RNA on damage 5. Or no, never mind. The burst is only on the 3 cost, right? So it wouldn't even matter. Would not matter.
There's not a second arc in that break zone, is there?
I don't think so. Mm-mm. Would you believe this all went downhill when our Dragoon player played Neo Exdeath?
I mean, he deserved, to be honest. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate.
I mean, if it had stuck around for a turn, he actually would probably be winning right now.
No, especially when you realize how far out of the way. I was poo-pooing on that Fenrir in the matchup.
Right? Yeah, we were just like, oh, there's nothing for this Fenrir to hit, right?
Little do I know.
There's Kusith, recurred off the Man in Black. Good old Estinian, didn't get to see him, sadly. Would have loved to have seen that card come out of the ashes and try to shine. And a normal Dragoon.
The true classic Timmy Lightning legend.
With a full grip, we can put out the Vanille too to potentially tax anything. We've got Ramu. I think we've got Sonin. Like, I can't. Yeah. I might have to lean with Snugsy here at this point that the only way James is losing this one is if a meteor falls on him.
Yep.
If you could get down one backup and a Freya and Cherry Blossom,
and then your opponent then Kusith's back the
Man in Black. Never mind. Okay, yeah. Forget that play. Forget that play.
Unnecessary.
It's like, oh no. I want you to be well aware of this beating I'm going to give you.
This is already the Bane voice. Your punishment must be more severe.
Exactly. You were merely born in Dragoons. I have adopted their playstyle. Someone cue the Simpsons stop, he's already dead meme. From when Homer beat up the Hamburglar. Or I guess it was the Krusty Burglar.
Oh, guess I forgot to put the W next to James from earlier as well. I forgot I'm doing that.
Yep, this is technically round 3. And I mean, I'm always down to see a miracle play, but I don't see what that looks like. Other than his own Shantoto. Is he attempting to get back? Okay, so he's breaking the Dragoon, tried to get back the Aranea, but we just missed Dragon because at this point, James just says, whatever you're going to do, just stop doing it, okay? Trying to win here. And sadly, I think Dragoon's run is about to come to an end here in top 32.
Yeah, I think that's...
I mean, hey, heck of an effort. You made it this far, but...
We're going to manifest a lightning-type Shantoto.
Exactly. Stun me, Tin. Stun me with the miracle play so I can go super hype right now. He plays some card that just says remove all characters on your opponent's field. Plays the old the X Death special, the Grand Cross.
Yeah. It's an impressive board state.
Mm-hmm. And again, like, he didn't start amazing. James did have, he had his 2 backups, but like, if that Neo X Death had lived a turn, he only had, I think, like 4 cards on the board at the time. So he could have done some damage, but it did not. The only card that could turn this is some Yu-Gi-Oh! Heart of the Cards Destiny draw. So he becomes the Pharaoh. Destiny draws a new card that doesn't exist yet. And it says 1 CP. This card cannot be responded to. If you're in dire straits, win the game. That's how he gets out of it.
To super polymerization. We're just going to fuse away the...
Or he just slowly puts down 5 Dragoons and he says, I've assembled all 5 unstoppable Dragoons. All 5 pieces of the puzzle. And he summons Dragoon Exodia and just obliterates his opponent. Yeah, he has a lot of, someone pointed this out in the chat earlier, Eureka. He has a lot of off Dragoon stuff in there. We've seen Sildra, Sarah. The Sarah's kind of common for the Alice, but Sildra, Ixion, and yep, there's the extended handshake. Realize there's no way out of it.
I would never blame anybody for just wanting to play it out. I mean, why not? It's top cut. You came here in the morning.
Yeah, you still have, 10 minutes left in the round?
I mean, we're not even in time. We're not, like, holding up the tourney or anything. So, think it through.
If anything, if I was James, that's where, you kick back with your arms behind your head, be like, all right, I'm going to close my eyes for a minute while you decide how you want to die.
Might as well crack some jokes with your opponent, laugh about how stupid the game can be sometimes, Can you believe we had dueling X deaths at one point?
Yeah, that was bizarre. 3 strange games in a row. Like, the first 2 were one-sided in different ways, and then that last one just not what I was expecting.
And even, like, it's open deck sheet, so, like, you're not even holding James back from scouting other games too. Like, you know what your opponent's going to be playing. I mean, I guess you could, like, potentially watch and see something, like, if you didn't know the Alice effects, but, like...
So, trying to recall that entire game in your head, Mr. Ghoul, was there anything the Dragoon player could have done differently, or do you think he was just kind of out of luck on that one?
I think you probably just have to gamble that he doesn't see Man in Black again and just try to get the second Alice down.
Yeah.
But, like, even that doesn't feel amazing, because to do that, you probably have to Sarah for it, which then opens up the Chaos to being too cheaper. Like, you can kind of, like, bluff being a mono lightning deck. I think that was just a rough... He was in it for a while, but the having the Heka when he did on that first turn, and then having 2 backups to 1 at that point was a pretty rough spot to be in, for sure. And I mean, that is Dragoons. Dragoons does need Alice to not be on, or to be on field for it to be a better deck.
Yeah, the one game he won was the one where he was able to stick Alice around. Someone saying, well, he just shouldn't play Alice anyway since he doesn't run that many Dragoons. I'm guessing he doesn't run the power reduction Dragoon. Like I said, either that or he just legitimately didn't show up. And that one could have gotten him out of a couple of tight spots.
Do you know which opus that one was from?
I want to say 14 or 15. Let me pull it up. Dragoon.
So I have access to all the lists.
Opus 14 common, yes.
No, it's not in there.
It isn't real. Which one's the? So I know he's got the Opus 18 and the Opus 13 we saw.
3 Opus 6, 3 Freya, 2 Opus 18, 3 Freya, 2 Opus 8, 3 Freya, 3 Opus 12, 2 Barbara, 1 Opus 8, the 1 Estinian, 2 Opus 13, 3 Aranea.
Huh. Interesting. If he ever does like a self deck tech later, or whatever, we'll be like, I could probably cut Neo X Death for a Dragoon. Or who knows? Maybe that card got him this
like
far.
35, 37-ish Dragoons. Let me see what the non-Dragoons are. The forward count, the only non-forward or non-Dragoon forward is the Neo X Death. 2 Ixion, 2 Sildra is 5. 3 Saris, 3 Alice. So that's 11. So yeah, 39 Dragoons. But
all right. Well, that was our streamed match for top 32. Any word on how the other matches in the rooms are doing? We still waiting on others to finish, I'm guessing.
Yep, I'm assuming so. Let's go ahead and reset my timer.
I believe they had 100 players. I know they sold like 130 something tickets, but I think only 100 people showed up.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Yeah, they sold, it was like 130 or 136, but 100 people ended up showing up for the day.
All right.
All right, while you get that set up, I'll go take a quick break, refill my water. Folks, don't go anywhere. Shouldn't be too long. That took most of the time, so unless something goes to time, shouldn't be too long until top 16. And Ghoul, if you want to fetch any rankings for us too, see who got knocked out, who's still in it, feel free to, sir. And we'll be right back.